Well, hello and welcome to episode 3 of Mishka's World Kitchen. Today it's a really special episode for me. I'm doing a traditional Vietnamese thơ gà, which is Vietnamese chicken soup. The bún bò Huế is the classic beef soup, but I'm doing one that's been popular since about the mid-1930s, and it's really popular all over the Vietnamese diaspora. This was taught to me by one of Vietnam's greatest chefs, Thi Hai Dang. I call her Ba. She's William's grandmother, and she taught me how to do this. She was on television for about 30 to 40 years in Saigon and Hanoi, so she's world-respected authority. So come in close. We're going to start off with some basics. This will be done in a few steps, and it's really important that you try and keep this as it should be done. You'll see here I've got the chicken pieces. So the trick with this is to make the broth first. The broth is the most important thing. That's what pulls everything together. What I've done here is I've got a steaming chicken. They call it in Vietnam a walking chicken. It's not one you'd eat for the table, but it's got all the bits and pieces on it and it'll give max flavour. I've got 5 litres of water here. No salt, no anything. We do the first boil for 1.5 hours, skimming the fat, and then we tip that out, water, and that takes the smell out, and then we add more fresh water in with other chicken pieces. What I've done here is I've got legs and wing pieces, and I'm actually cutting the bones so the marrow comes out and will flavour the chicken. Okay, so that will be the second boil. Actually, the first boil is not 1.5 hours. It's only bring it to the boil it for 15 to 20 minutes and let the scum come off. So the second boil is 1.5 hours. So I'm going to put all these pieces in, and then I'm going to bring it to the boil, and then I'll tip the water out and I'll start again and I'll add in all the other pieces. So come over here and see the ingredients. Really important to start off with some ginger and some onion for the broth. Again, this will flavour the broth, but you won't see these pieces in there. What you do in Vietnam, and what I've done here, is you toast them either on a barbecue or a gas flame till they're burnt on the outside, and this increases the sweetness inside. And then I will peel those and drop them into the second broth. I've got here some herbs. I've got star anise, cardamom, cloves, garlic, and mace, and that will go in to the second broth. I've got about a tablespoon of palm sugar here. I'll tell you this in the recipe when I post it, and of course using fish sauce, about a tablespoon of fish sauce. When we there'll be lemongrass in there as well, and when we serve the meal there'll be finely sliced onions, and then of course all our herbs. There'll be there'll be coriander, there'll be scallions or spring onions, chives, sawtooth coriander, and that will be added in with bean sprouts, but we'll do that in the second stage. So come back in about 1.5 hours and I'll be ready to show you part 2. See you soon. Hello and welcome back to part 2. So just come in a bit closer and have a look what I've got here. This is the broth, the chicken broth, and you'll notice I use a little Vietnamese hack. In order to allow the steam out but allow the moisture to stay in, I just put 2 chopsticks across here and then I keep the lid on, and that's really very helpful. As you can see now, the broth is very clear, so come in quite close. And you can see the cardamom pods, the lemongrass, the onion, the seared onion, and what I've also done in there is I've gotten prepped, ready to put in the bowl, some chopped, salted, hard-boiled duck eggs. I'll show you the photos of all these at the end of the blog. Some finely, very finely sliced white onion, bean sprouts, coriander, chopped scallion or chopped spring onion, and I've got my fish sauce ready to add into here. If you come over here, you can see I've got these rice stick noodles. They're bun pho, so they are for soup, and we soak them for 10 minutes in some hot water, and you'll see they start to turn opaque, they start to turn white. 10 minutes there, and then when we're ready, we put them into boiling water, and that will be part 3, and I'll show you how to assemble the soup. We're almost there. So I'll see you in a few minutes. Bye. Welcome back. Last step, I'm now going to assemble the dish. Come and have a look at the chicken. I've taken the chicken and all its pieces out of the pot and started to remove some breast meat. Don't worry about the small parts, because it's a steaming bird, it can be a bit tough, but just use the white meat here. Come over this way, you can see the broth is ready, lovely and clear. You can strain it through a muslin cloth if you want to take out any of the bits of peppercorn, but I like it as it is. And then over here I've got all the condiments. So starting off with the chicken meat, the duck egg, spring onions, the very finely sliced white onions, coriander, a little bit of mint, and of course bean sprouts. So we boiled the noodles for just 1 minute after the softening in the water. So a minute there. Don't put in too much because you want room for the vegetable and the chicken. So there we go. You can buy these fresh as well, already freshly cooked, and you just have to put them into hot water for a minute, but I couldn't find them today. So putting in some meat, come in close. Meat there, some duck egg, yum yum yum. The finely sliced onion, the coriander, the scallion, and finally the broth, the soup. So make sure the chicken meat is still warm. Try not to burn my finger. And just ladle in the hot chicken broth over the top. Ooh, yum, so good. You can adjust the fish sauce, which is the salty part, and the chili, if you want it, when you get to the table. So follow me to the table, and here we go. So you can add in lime wedges, there's hoisin sauce to dip the meat. We've got a variety of chives, garlic chives, salad vegetables, more mint and coriander, and of course some chili. I like chili in mine. And there you go. So I hope you get to make that. I hope it's successful. Let me know on the vlog. See you next time.